Welcome to Shakespeare Full Circle, a journey of a circuitous nature into the mind of the Bard of Avon, or as you become more familiar, Uncle Will. I'm your host, Kari Marshall. Well, hi there. If you are new to the pod, welcome. Okay, well, now that's behind us. Is it just me, or is this a little bit... I feel like we need something to dispel the awkwardness of this situation before we can get down to business. Something to, you guessed it, break the ice. Uncle Will came up with what would become one of the most popular idioms in our lexicon for his sexually problematic play, The Taming of the Shrew. We travel to the Italian city of Padua, where a young fellow named Lucentio arrives to attend the local university. Lucentio becomes love-struck when he comes across Bianca. Bianca, however, already has two suitors, Gremio and Hortensio. And, to make matters worse, Bianca's wealthy father has decreed that no one may even court Bianca until her older sister, the shrewish, title of the playcheck, ill-tempered Ice Queen Catherine, is married off. Enter Hortensio's brash and brutish friend from Verona, Petruchio, who, as luck would have it, just so happens to be looking for a wife. We get an insight into Petruchio's feelings about romance and matrimony when he declares that he does not care about his prospective wife's looks at all, as long as she is rich. This could just be the solution for Hortensio, if he can get the waspish, unruly buster of the proverbials Kate married off. He will be free to woo her kinder, gentler, younger sister, Bianca.
If it be so, sir, that you other man must stead us all and me amongst the rest, and if you break the ice and do this feat, achieve the elder, set the younger free for our access, whose hap shall be to have her will not so graceless be to be ingrate.
The next day, Petruchio pays a visit to Baptista's house to meet his prospective wife, and their first meeting does not go so well.
Good morrow, Kate. For that's your name, I hear.
Well, have you heard? But something hard of hearing. They call me Catherine, that you talk of me.
You lie, in faith, for you are called plain Kate, and bonny Kate, and sometimes Kate the Cursed, but Kate.
Obviously, Catherine is having none of it. And to be fair, Petruchio really wasn't on what could be referred to as a charm offensive. Her icy demeanor not only remains unbroken, but the room gets much cooler and a tad bit more creepy.
Keep you warm.
Marry. So I mean, sweet Catherine, in thy bed.
I always find that when I reread this play, I have to constantly remind myself of the patriarchal and misogynistic world Uncle Will was living in. That does present some difficulties for modern audiences, but we will leave that for another time. The term break the ice then popped up a fair few years later in the mock-heroic poem by Samuel Butler, Hudibras. Two characters stand in awkward silence upon their first meeting. Butler writes, "The orator we named of late, less troubled with the pangs of state than with his own impatience to give himself first audience, after he had a while looked wise, at last broke silence and the ice." Interestingly, this phrase is one of Uncle Will's idioms that didn't begin from a literal origin, but rather as a metaphor. Many people believed the origins must have come from, say, a hapless fisherman looking to meet his dinner on a frozen lake, or even from the early voyages to explore the Arctic. But no, it was apparently dealing with the meeting between a boisterous and overbearing personality and a rather chilly and shrewish disposition, in the pursuit of what we will very loosely term vero amore.
You're as cold as ice. You're willing to sacrifice our love.
Well, alas and alack, my friends, that's all we have time for. Join us again next time for another circuitous journey into the mind of Uncle William. I'm Kari Marshall. Farewell until next time. Today's excerpts were from the 1988 BBC Radio 3 production of The Taming of the Shrew. Shakespeare Full Circle is a production of WGTE Public Media. You can learn more and download all episodes at wgte.org/sfc or wherever you get your podcasts.